We saw the great presentation, very beautiful, very touching. Has giving back always been a huge role for the WWE from the beginning?
Absolutely. Ever since I was a part of WWE, ever since I can remember, my parents have just infused this sense of giving back. And it is our mission to put smiles on people's faces, whether we do that through our programming or by giving back to the community. And for a long time, we didn't really tell people what we were doing because, we wanted to make sure that we were doing it for the right reasons. And then we realized that these partners can really benefit. John Cena was talking about how happy he was to have the media here today because all of you can help amplify the message and spread our partners' message of hope, strength, and joy in terms of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And let me tell you, WWE's mission, when you see these smiles on these kids' faces, particularly those from Make-A-Wish Foundation, there is just nothing more rewarding than that.
Do you remember the first time you guys got the whole call that a kid wanted a wish granted by your organization?
I don't remember the first time that we got the phone call because I was just a little girl. Our partnership goes back over 30 years with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I'm not that old. But I did, thank you, very recently, I granted my first wish.
Okay, all right.
And it was an overwhelming experience. His name was Chandler. And he wanted to meet with me because I'm the boss, and he wanted me to book a particular main event in Raw that night. So it was just the most incredibly rewarding experience, and I think I got more out of it than Chandler did.
And SummerSlam this Sunday, huge event, Brooklyn. Talk about the energy of New York City. I mean, how is it different from other stages and fans?
Well, New York City is one of, it's the Mecca, right? It's one of our favorite cities to come to because of the electricity, the passion, and the fan base. And of course, our history goes back so far. My grandfather and my great-grandfather promoted New York City and Madison Square Garden in particular. So there's just a lot of heritage, a lot of history, and our connection with our fans in New York goes way, way back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take us to that first event, like the first time you worked with Make-A-Wish. What was that feeling?
I remember being very overwhelmed the first time that I worked with Make-A-Wish Foundation when I met the kids, but not just the kids, when I met their parents. And it was actually my husband, Triple H, who was granting a wish. And I was just so moved by how much love there was in that room and by how much life this child had inside him. I mean, that child wasn't sick from the way that he behaved that day. You would have never known it. And it taught me a lot, in that one moment about what life's really all about.
What's it like being basically a superhero to these kids? What is that?
Well, I said it up there and I'll say it again. We're not the superheroes. These kids are the superheroes. They're the ones that deserve to be celebrated, and that's exactly what we try to do every day. The best piece of advice would be anything you can do makes a difference. If you are simply smiling at someone on the street and you can make someone else smile, that's giving back, and you'll feel it. You'll feel how good that feels. But in terms of Make-A-Wish Foundation or in terms of Connor's Cure or any of these great organizations that really work to help people day in and day out, any donation matters. And if you don't have $1 or $5 or $10, you can donate your time, you can volunteer, you can help spread the message. Even amplifying messages through social media are all worth it, and they all help.